Okay, we are live with episode 91 of Nansen Office Hours. Today, I've got Dan with me from Nansen Alpha, who's going to go through our new and very exciting Nansen Research Portal, as well as... Oh, I can hear myself. Hey, give me 1 second, guys. I can hear myself. Okay, I had my stream open. That was a horrible experience of hearing my own voice. Okay, where did I get to there? Okay, so if you're new, drop your GMs in the chat. If you're subscribed as well, every Wednesday we have office hours. We go through new features. We answer questions from you guys, provide alpha leaks. So yeah, make sure that you subscribe. Turn notifications on so you don't miss any future alpha. And if you'd like to try Nansen, we have up to 40% off with the link below. I'm very surprised. I've never had that issue before, actually. I had the stream on in like a different tab. So that's the first time for everything. But yeah, anyway. Okay, Dan, why did we decide to add the Nansen Research Portal?
Cool. Yeah, thanks. And good to be on as well. So yeah, I mean, a bit of background about the research portal. The best way to really understand why we built it is to take a step back and kind of understand what Nansen Alpha is, because it's like an extension of Nansen Alpha. That's where it originated from. So what Nansen Alpha is obviously the top tier package that you get at Nansen. So you get everything in VIP, but on top of that, you also get to join this really cool community of like smart investors. And they really are like kind of like smart money investors, and they all got like different skills, and we go through a process to kind of curate who they are and give them access to the community. So we've got guys who are on like the macro side, all the way down to like your kind of like more degens on like the yield farming and NFT side, and everything in between. So we had this like really amazing group of users. And we thought they were like the perfect user group who would be interested in research, because I guess that's how you find alpha, is kind of through research and deep insights. So we started hiring our research analysts, building out reports for them, and a lot of the feedback was like really, really good. They just really enjoyed like the objective nature of our research reports. Our reliance on data, obviously Nansen's data, and a lot of the feedback from the funds and everything was that we really had like institutional quality reports. So we thought, obviously it was great feedback. So we thought, okay, well, firstly we should probably build a better product for our alpha members. We were doing it in a very like skateboard agile approach, just starting off with like delivering everything on Google Docs. So we thought we would elevate the product for them. But then equally, we also thought, like, if the alpha tier enjoys it so much, then we should definitely provide the same value to other Nansen groups as well. So, we thought, looking at VIP, like, looking at the user and how they interact, we should, they would also really be interested in the research potentially, and likewise with standard and also Nansen Light users. So that's how the research portal kind of came into existence.
Yeah, it's really exciting, and I've just shared your screen as well, so people can take a look at it, and we'll go through like how you end up on the page, the various things we've got. But I thought I'd ask first, like, what makes Nansen Research stand out compared to like other company research portals, if that's what you want to call them?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, before like I even dive into what's different, I'll say like the big thing in the crypto space, but probably in the world in general, but there's probably like not enough like good quality objective research out there. So I think just if we did nothing different at all to anyone else, I think it's just like a big positive for the ecosystem and the industry in general, that there's like another source of objective information that people can rely on as well, because it's kind of lacking potentially in the crypto industry. But we obviously do stuff that is very different. For instance, I mean, I guess the biggest differentiator compared to anyone else is we obviously like our research house is built on the back of like the best on-chain data in the world, which is obviously Nansen's, in my opinion. So that's obviously like a massive plus. So we really try to leverage Nansen's data as much as possible in all our research pieces. Obviously, through our understanding of like the dashboards, all our research analysts are power users of Nansen dashboards, so we can really give like insights that potentially maybe a user wouldn't be able to draw themselves. So that's obviously like a big plus. And equally, we also have access to Nansen Query, which is a product more for the institutional team, and we really incorporate a lot of their data into our research as well. So I guess our ability to reach Nansen's data or present it in a way that no other research house can is like really interesting and insightful. So I think that's the biggest differentiator that we have, I'd say. But obviously in general, kind of in line with Nansen, like obviously just trying to be objective, reliant on data, and provide like high quality alpha to our users.
Yeah, I think that's a big selling point, right, as well, of Nansen Alpha. So you have all these analysts, but like how objective they are is really important, because you don't have some like bias in the reports. And I think that's something that we like pride ourselves off. And I don't know if you mentioned it as well, but we have like partnership reports, which hopefully makes us stand out. So we've got, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I did forget to mention that. Like we got something like different as well that's pretty unique. We thought we'd also have like other blue chip firms also like have their research on our portal, so hopefully it can be like a hub for like high quality Web3 information. So we've got like Amber Group, QCP, and Cumberland all providing reports for different levels at different tiers. So that's also really exciting.
Yeah, I think we'll talk about like future plans and maybe getting more partners and stuff later on in this episode. But do you want to go through, Dan, like the kind of user flow? How does someone end up on Nansen Research? What do they see? All of that.
Cool. So how someone gets there. I've got the. Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So obviously you can see the research. Like you obviously go through Nansen as you would in general. You'll see the research portal here, similar to Portfolio. You'll click on that, and then it will open up this screen here. And equally, when you're here, you can just kind of go back to the main app. So it's like very easy to get between the two. Once you land here on the Nansen Research Portal, you can like this. We just the homepage just gives you like a highlight of kind of what's going on, through everything. So we got like our featured reports on top here. These are reports that we brought out that maybe we want to just stay a bit longer on top, because there's like a decent cadence of reports coming through, so you can check them out here. So this obviously the merge report we did, which is a really interesting read, and then obviously like the current state of the crypto market, and these are both for free, so it doesn't matter what tier you're on, definitely go take a look at them. And then kind of just scrolling through, we've got all our latest research, so it's definitely, this is a good place to come and check out every day and just see what is happening on a daily basis. You can find it through here. Obviously, if you want to search for anything, you can just search up there. That's also a super easy way to find out information. But then, we're just going to take you through just a lot of the very popular reports. So we got like the NFT Weekly, which is a big hit, and it's available for standard users as well. Then going down to like DeFi, macro, and the homepage just kind of goes through everything. So definitely worth scrolling through. But if we had to dive a bit more into it, we'll get to like the research and the different categories. So if you click on the research tab, it's just like easily broken up. So in a way, it's similar to the homepage. You can find, and maybe I'll kind of explain what each of these categories are. So obviously, like your L1 and L2s, these are like kind of focusing on the different ecosystems. As you can, so you can see we've got like reports on like Aptos and Zoo, on Arbitrum, Ethereum, Avalanche, like Cosmos, like all of the different kind of ecosystems, and just general updates on them. DeFi is fairly obvious what it is, but it's like just looking at all the broad categories and reports in the DeFi section. Like one we just done recently, came out yesterday, was on DAOs and governance. We obviously got our NFT reports. These are just kind of focused on obviously on NFTs, but these are slightly like these aren't the weekly update reports. These are like more like deep dives. We do some really interesting ones like into NFT airdrop report, NFT airdrop pro report, like analyzing the tag, what they're doing on chain. Really, really interesting stuff that in those NFT reports, like definitely a different view. Then we've got our farming reports. These are we bring these out on a weekly basis. We've been doing it for like nearly a year now, I think, and it's every week we kind of help all of the yield farmers out there go and find really interesting pools. And our RA team does a really good job at consistently finding like really good high quality pools, even in a bear market where the yields are much lower. Kind of talked about the NFT weekly, and then we obviously got our gaming section and also our macro section as well. So that's like obviously a very high level overview of all the different categories that we currently have, and we'll be adding more as well.
I was going to say, I think it's really cool that you have like all these categories because people are in crypto and like NFTs for certain things. So you don't have to like wade through and find something that's relevant for you. You can go straight to like NFTs, as you mentioned, or straight to farming, which I think is really interesting. Like separating it from DeFi, because some people are just like really into that. And I think it's cool you mentioned as well, like in a bear market, it's very difficult to find like beneficial farming pools or whatever. So if we have these reports, it makes it really easy. And I think that's another point as well, Dan, like this whole research portal helps users that maybe either like are new to Nansen or feel like they don't really understand Nansen yet. I think it's like a really nice way of like condensing all this information into reports. So then you can like go through and read these rather than feeling like you have to be this Nansen pro or whatever, which definitely can take like a while to get to.
Yeah, definitely. I think like that's like the big value add of the research portal. Like before I continue going through this, like I think it really helps solve a few problems for Nansen users or people who are fans of Nansen, because not everyone like has the ability to be like a Nansen explorer and like really kind of go through like what's happening every day on the chain. Like so, as much as you may love the product, you just don't have the time to like actually do it. So hopefully these reports like really help kind of shed to light what's happening on a daily basis on chain, but also just in just different areas as well, like in all the different categories. So it's way easier to keep up with. And as you said, like another point that I think that's really useful is like not everyone has the knowledge to make the most of the dashboards or to draw like specific insights. So kind of by reading through the research, seeing how our analysts are interpreting certain dashboards, like gives you another angle, another like a framework to like look at the reports. So, to look at the dashboard. So, after reading the reports and then you kind of go look at the dashboards, like you're probably seeing the information slightly differently. So that's useful as well. I'll probably say like another really valuable thing about it is that we really try to use as much data as possible through like Nansen Query, which is a really interesting and cool product from Nansen itself. So I guess we're making like the query, all the information from Query like way more accessible to just general users who either don't obviously have access to Query or maybe don't have like the skill set and understand SQL and are able to kind of pull the information themselves. So I think by making all of that information like easily accessible, hopefully it's a big value add to the users.
Yeah, I think definitely like even myself as well. I never use Nansen Query or anything, but I follow like Alberto and stuff, and he always posts these amazing charts that I have no idea how you make, but obviously you can do that through Nansen Query. So this like gives you access to these as well without having to actually use it. But yeah, go ahead, Dan. By the way, I cut you off.
Just to kind of segue from that. If you go through like these reports, if you look at all the data like this, it's this is all from Query. most of the things from query. And on top of it, I guess what's also just super useful, even if you have query, we've got amazing designers as well who take all this query information and also just make it look really beautiful. So super impressed with our design team and how they kind of pull all of this together. But yeah, really really insightful information that you otherwise aren't going to be able to get, and information that most other research houses kind of won't be able to give you as well. So yeah, super unique in that sense. But yeah, to kind of carry on with the user flow through the research portal as it currently is, and probably give you a bit more insight into Alpha as well, is that these are some Alpha exclusive research updates that we have. So quickly, high level run through of them is, so we've got the Alpha Radar. This is our RAs on a daily basis go obviously discover what's happening on chain and write a high level summary for our users. So whether it's whether it's a certain mint that's got a lot of smart money investors jumping in, or a certain pool that's come up, or any big interesting movements from funds or unlocks or whatever it is, we try to highlight it there to save users a lot of time. Then we got the daily summaries. These are extremely popular actually. So as I mentioned, we've got the Alpha community. It's a separate Discord where all of these investors are chatting. And what we do is we summarize the information and also what's happening in the world. So it's every day you go and read this, and it's super insightful. So let's say you're part of Alpha, but you're obviously gone on holiday, or it's been a few busy days at work, at the fund, whatever it is, and you can't, you don't want to read through the Discord and catch up on everything. You can just read these daily summaries, and it's really insightful, that. And lastly, well, actually not lastly, two more. We've got the war room. So in Alpha, every Monday and Thursday, we got a war room, which is to explain a bit more about it. It's everyone jumps on to a call and discuss kind of what's happening in the industry. So we're generally on Mondays, we're looking at more macro stuff that's become such a big topic, but it wasn't always like that. So, but talk about macro, talk about DeFi, NFTs, really dive into what's happening there and what everyone's seeing. So I guess that collective knowledge of all these investors is super useful. So yeah, those are super popular. Then in the Thursday one, our analysts also present an overview of what they're looking at, and then kind of also do the roundtable with the community as well. And then lastly, this is a new feature that we have, is the market updates. So we've got Cumberland on board. They provide a lot of free research as well, but specifically for the Alpha tier, there is some information that's just for Alpha, which is also really useful. It's great kind of seeing what one of these top trading firms are doing and how they're thinking on a daily basis. Also really interesting insights, and they're also Alpha members, which is really cool. So that's a high level overview of what you kind of get in Alpha from just a pure research perspective. Diving into the media section, which is, so the media section, this is something that we've been working on for a while. We try to bring on, this is for now exclusive for Alpha as well. We try to bring on really interesting products or projects to connect them with our users to get better insights, as opposed to just kind of reading about them. You can actually connect with them. So we do that. So that's our project AMAs. So we've had Axler on, but guys from Starkware, Layer Zero, Celesta, some really interesting projects, and to get to know the founders a bit better, really understand their vision, which also helps in making, I guess, good decisions, investment decisions. So we've got that, which is really useful. We got our expert sessions, where we bring on I guess thought leaders in the space, and this is also one of my favorite parts about the research portal, but and Alpha in general. So on Monday we had Alex Kruger come on. He comes on a monthly basis. He kind of gives us his macro overview, which is really important considering the CPI last week. And then also, we got the FOMC meeting this today, I think.
Today, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So that's also like, kind of his predictions of what he thinks could happen there, and also kind of looking ahead to like the next 3 months and whatever it may be. Before the merge, which we actually had Geordie Alexander come on, who and Judy as well. So it was really interesting having these two, these two speakers come on. Geordie, like really good macro insight, and also I think he did like all the bear case arguments for the merge. So it's always good like to have him on the day of the merge. It was like really interesting listening to him and talking about just like what he thinks is going to happen, like kind of questioning and asking questions on his decision process and his thought process. So that was really cool. And also Yudi, generally with more of a Bitcoin background, also good to kind of get his views on it. So it's kind of like a lot of what we do is as bullish as we are on the merge and like amazing feat. We also try always show like the other side, the other story, and try to be as objective as possible. So that's great. And obviously we've had Alex on and a few other really cool speakers. So those are always super insightful. And what's nice about them, and I guess different compared to like podcasts that you're going to hear, is like everything's behind closed doors and all of our members are invited and anyone can ask questions, and it's just a different format to like the typical podcast that you're going to get out there.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Is anyone doing like a similar thing to this, where you have this like really closed group? Or I don't know of anyone else doing it anyway.
I'm not too like, I don't want to say no, but I definitely haven't come across anyone at least. So it's just it's something different. So it's a no. It's a no as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, definitely. Is there other features that you want to showcase quickly? Because I want to ask you about like future plans, but maybe that's skipping ahead.
Yeah. I mean, the last one I'll just say is that we obviously got
Yep.
like master classes here. So this is like, we just try and have like master classes on certain topics. So like we'll have one on like Cosmos and IBC. We also do like master classes on dashboards, on like the NFT, on how best to use NFTs. So just really help our alpha members and everyone else like become pro users. So I'd say those are like, that's like a high level overview of the features. So I guess we can move on.
Yeah, someone asked actually quickly, Dan, like someone says, is there a way for like community members to request certain research articles?
Yeah, definitely. So I can dive into like what or dive into the blog a bit as well. But so we do have research and AMA requests. It is like one of the benefits of being in Nansen Alpha. So for instance, like Yudi was actually a community member request. It'll be his members, like, it would be great to get him on, understand like his views on Bitcoin and the merge and all the rest. So that happened. And for instance, like Aptos and Sue, like when they came out, everyone would be like, hey, it'd be great if you could get some research reports on them. So we did that as well. So when it comes to research reports, we obviously want to build out reports that we think are like super interesting for our users, but obviously there is a research request channel where people can request, and if possible, and we build it out for them. So yes, in short.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so I think what we wanted to look at is like planned reports, and also future reports that you've got, or future features maybe as well.
Yeah, so in terms of future reports, so I guess like we try to bring out about between like 20 reports a month, more or less like between 20 and 25. So we try like, so it's like a decent cadence. We like it kind of sticking with the whole general theme of Nansen, like surfacing the signal. We don't want to just be like spitting out a million or producing a million reports and the information gets lost again. So that doesn't really help. So we try to have like a lower frequency of reports, but super high quality. And those reports are kind of excluding the weekly reports. So I guess it is a decent amount of reports. Some of the top ones that we're working on currently, there's a lot, but so kind of what I mentioned already, but we're doing a lot of like workflows on how to use Nansen, but probably a bit more advanced ones, like teaching people how to really become power users of the tool. So showing how our research analysts do it, and then kind of like so people can try and replicate those flows. So that's, I guess it's not 100. Yeah, I guess it is a research report that. Another one that's really interesting, we're looking at like all the on-chain, looking on-chain, like all the VCs and funds, looking at the latest investments. So trying to see what they have been accumulating, if there's any interesting alpha there. So that's something that should come up quite soon. We're doing another stablecoin update. So we did one just before like the UCT collapse, and that was really interesting because like it obviously had like a lot of warnings about that. So just doing an update there. Then we're looking at ZK Sync and some airdrop strategy potentially there. So and there's a bunch more like deep diving into Osmos. We've been doing a lot for a while now. We've been reporting a lot about the Cosmos ecosystem. So kind of just continuing with that theme, and a few more like airdrop strategy reports. Those, I'd say that's it for now that you can expect in the next week or two.
Mm-hmm. Is there like a grander vision? Do we have like some direction for Nansen Research, or is this like more what it is, and then we'll just be kind of expanding it, adding more people in, like we said earlier? So currently we have like Amber Group and all of these other people. So is there this vision to like get more people involved and all of this?
Yeah, so definitely. I guess like in terms of like adding more people specifically, like we definitely will. We're already in talks with other like top tier firms about producing their research on the research portal. So that is definitely something we will do. Like we obviously want to keep it whitelisted. We want to make sure that the content's like super high quality. I think that's just like an important value for Nansen in general. So like we will be doing it, but like slowly, and making sure we add and making sure that the reports that we allow to be on the research portal are top notch in a way. In terms of like other features that we have coming out, I think we actually got a lot of exciting things coming out. This is just like the MVP, to be dead honest. We just tried to put it in our users' hands as soon as we thought that it was at a certain level that we could put in their hands and get feedback from them. But I guess something that's coming out quite soon is the like exactly here, like the alpha calendar. Essentially, it's like a calendar format, so quite different from something you probably wouldn't find on a typical research portal, but with all really interesting events, with the majority of them being like any very large unlocks. So in a way, it's kind of like an unlock calendar, but it will obviously have other events in there as well. So what we do is like build in like all potential large unlocks that are happening. Firstly, to make our users like aware that of this potential event, and then like where possible, we try and attach like smart alerts so users can actually go and get the alerts in real time. I think that's like been one of the big things we've noticed with a lot of these like unlock schedules, is that it's just like this is the date that it's happening, and then all the data are incorrect. So once again, like verifying it on chain is super important. So that's a really cool feature that's coming out for us. That in the next like week or so. Then I guess the other like obviously like a few UX changes and smaller things, but I'd say like in terms like the bigger route or bigger vision of where we want to take it. I think there's a lot of things, but I don't want to give like too much away as well. But I think if we look at like some of the biggest problems with research reports currently is like the static nature of them. They are, like especially in crypto, like if you read a report like a year ago on, for instance, like an Ethereum, it's probably like totally outdated now, and that's the same. And that is true for like so many different ecosystems and protocols and projects. So, that's not a great user experience in a way. And that applies to like all research, even outside of crypto. So I think Nansen's in a very unique position where we've got like amazing data, amazing live dashboards, and also like amazing research, and it's like how we can combine them and potentially produce stuff that's a bit more timeless. So that's something we're looking into and trying to solve, like just general problems with research. I think Nansen's uniquely positioned to do something quite exciting there.
Yeah, and I don't think you want to like give away all of what it is, but I've heard what it is and it's really, really exciting. So look out for that. And it just reminded me actually, I thought you make a really interesting point. Like if you can integrate smart alerts into this as well. So I've had DMs before asking me about like unlocks and saying like, oh, this date has come up, but there's like no unlock or whatever. And then they're saying how they use smart alerts instead, because then you can actually like directly see it happen. So it's like a really, really powerful tool. I think like with Nansen Research just in general, it should be so amazing, and it is amazing, because we can like directly start using Nansen features and Nansen data. And like we said, we're a bit biased, but we feel like our data and everything is probably the best in crypto. So it's like a really, really amazing package, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like what's also interesting, something you probably also see is that everything's going to probably become a bit more like integrated in the future. I think it would be like amazing if someone was, let's say maybe you're looking at like the Lido token, for instance, and you're kind of looking at it in token guard mode, and then theoretically it'd be great to see like the research there as well. So make it like way more like comprehensive and a better user experience. So really combining like this kind of super far-reaching scope that Nansen has, and kind of putting it all together. I think it's also like a great user experience. So those are other things I think we'll be working on.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really, really exciting, and like really exciting to see where it goes as well. Is there anything else that you want to show while we're here?
Yeah, I mean, it's right now, as I said, it's like it is the MVP, so there's not like too many other things. We've obviously got like a bookmark feature here. So I mean, just like obviously it's super easy for you to go and bookmark like everything you want to read in the future. Hopefully, this will potentially be offline at some point as well, so you can enjoy it whilst not being connected to the to the internet. And also like I guess you can also go, if you're interested in any of our analysts, feel free, you can actually go and click on all their bios, understand a bit more who about they are, their research reports, and same with our research partners. But overall, I think that's about it as a little intro into into the research portal and what's coming as well.
Nice. Yeah, and if anyone has like any questions as well, you can always reach out to us, like on the main account, DM Dan. What is your Twitter handle? DJ the Chief.
Yeah, it's DJ the Chief.
You can DM Dan, you can DM me, any questions, always open, stuff like that. Hopefully you all really enjoyed it, and hopefully you'll all go and use it as well. Give us feedback, always want feedback. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll mention actually while I'm here, and I remember, Nansen, well, a lot of the team anyway, will be at Token 2049. Dan isn't there, sadly. I will be there from, 28, 29th, next week. So yeah, everyone come and see us. I think we're giving free merch away. Apparently limited edition or something, exclusive merch. I don't even have that. So hopefully you don't take it from me. But yeah, come and see us. It should be really, really good fun. And I think that is about it. Is that it, Dan, from you as well?
Yeah, I think that's everything for me for now. And yeah, we'll definitely update you we'll update everyone on Twitter as new features and cool reports come out.
Nice. Okay, everyone subscribe. I've got a Nansen Unsupervised on Friday, my last of like this season, if I can call it that, before I take like a break. It's about music NFTs. Should be really cool. I've got Cooper Trooper and the founder of SoundMint. I'm really, really excited about that. So hopefully I see you on Friday. If not, hopefully see you next week on Wednesday. And yeah, that's it. Everyone have a great day. Bye-bye.